My name is Dave Monahan. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer for Centriq, and I welcome all of you this morning, principally in the United States and Canada. I want to be as brief as possible, as I know we've got a pretty packed agenda. So with that, I'm trying to think, how's that old phrase go? History doesn't repeat, but it sure does rhyme. Now, that rhyming there is really a tremendous opportunity for us to better serve our customers, to build loyalty, to improve financial performance, and then really at the end of the day, profits. Let me tell you how here real fast. Loyal customers form buying patterns that include things like what they typically buy, how much they typically spend, how often they come, and when they're likely to be here next. And from that, we can then determine things like customer lifetime value. When we can add proven polling and survey capabilities, plus a few communication tools, you can begin to see the power of how ProfitEdge can work. Imagine for a quick moment a small boutique shop where the owner seems to know everybody. He or she will know when a customer is buying less than they normally do, or perhaps when they haven't been in the store for a while. They might pick up the phone and call to see what's happening. The problem is that system doesn't really scale very well. Enter ProfitEdge. Well, when we talk about artificial intelligence and machine learning, which may be jargon that's unfamiliar to you, think instead of things like data analytics or data science, because I really don't want this to be either something that's confusing to you or seem creepy. We take that data science, pair it with other proven satisfaction tools that can be executed at scale and can recognize things like trends. Nothing helps to improve a relationship with a customer more than genuinely asking for feedback and then acting on it. Finally, know that ProfitEdge is available in a tightly built single platform that works together from a single source of customer data, as opposed to a system that you might use for just email promotion or something else for customer satisfaction. The cool thing is that this doesn't ask you to do anything more or anything differently than you're doing today already. With equipment that you already possess, like your cash register system, your e-commerce system, or property management system if you're in the hospitality space. So what I'm trying to say is this is minimally disruptive, yet still highly impactful within the first few months of being deployed. Literally, systems like ours help to pay for themselves. So 2021 was a great building year for us. We're excited to be sharing this news with you. Let's take a look back one slide, if you don't mind, with the agenda. We'll go over the agenda and then I'll introduce our keynote speaker. So today, just kind of did our quick overview. ProfitEdge, solution associated with our roadmap, beginning really with data anchors. And then we'll be discussing some of our success stories for 2020 that includes things like Morning Owl, Jade Blue, which is a men's clothing store, as well as Signum Group for properties. Lastly, we'll talk about a couple of our partners, such as Accenture and Trajectus, and then we'll wrap up at the tail end. So with this, let me go ahead and introduce our keynote speaker from Accenture, Vibhav Sazanya, who, as he speaks about kind of the importance of today's data in today's complex world. Vibhav, take it away.
Thank you, Dave. That was quite generous of you. So can you please share the slides as well? Okay. Yeah, thank you, Dave. So in the next 20 minutes or 15 minutes, what I would be presenting is about Accenture's, based on our Accenture's global experience. I'll give you a brief overview of how the market is now, what major retailers are doing now, and how not to just survive this market, but also thrive in this market. It all started like 20 years back when Amazon started. They were gathering around 500 gigs of data on every customer in 90s, and look where they are. So if you see on this particular slide, there is really a storm going on in the retail industry as well as in hospitality industry. If you think that there are different silos within the company, supply chain managers are concerned that shipments of highly anticipated release could be delayed, pre-orders can be stacking up. The marketing team is about to launch a global promotional campaign. Merchandisers are on the line for aggressive sales goals, but no one knows exactly what a delay could mean like for the business. In the current world, if you see, there were ships. There was a problem with the ports in LA, and a lot of ships were stuck there. So not even the C-suite is able to fully realize what the problem could be, and because they do not have a full real-time view of the data and the time required to analyze it. And this is not just the story of one retail or hospitality, it's for all of the businesses. So what do we do next to survive in this market? Next slide, please. So data is turning out to be the new anchor, from consumer behaviors and market trends to the competitive dynamics and economic outlook. Today's reality is unlikely to be tomorrow's. This is the nature of the post-pandemic retail, and it will be from now on. Things have changed in the last 2 years, but the story will continue from here. The problem that you see is retailers and hospitality industry are swimming in the data that can help them make sense of this complex landscape, but functional silos and lack of a strong data governance makes it difficult to get an enterprise-wide data assets, to get enterprise-wide data insights. To address this problem, what usually retailers do, they move to the cloud, they modernize to the cloud, they bring in different AI tools in there, but that is only a part of the solution. Getting the full value of data means focusing on the business outcomes, focusing on that culture, process, ways of working across the data in the organization with the partners. So how do we, like, this is the top level that, okay, we have to use the data, but how do we use this data? And that's what we see in the industry right now. Next slide, please. That data is being used as a strategic asset. With a strategy in place, retailers are closer to unleashing data as a strategic asset to improve not only customer experience, but innovation, operations, and growth. To keep up with the changing consumer behaviors, market trends, and competitive dynamics, retailers need to be truly data-driven. Right now, they are data-rich, but insights poor, due to the functional silos that make it difficult to get enterprise-wide data and insights, as I mentioned earlier. So there is really a need for retailers to become data-driven faster by bringing a strategy, AI, and technology together. And I'm not talking about that very level. So let me talk about how to take this strategic asset, move into the execution, and how do we see around the world what major retailers are doing. Next slide, please. So data-driven in reinvention starts at the very top of the organization, with the C-suite coming in and bringing in that technology investments with business-led change. As critical as a data strategy is for retailers, it has to be backed by execution. It has to be backed by delivering the business outcomes that are needed, bringing together retail, bringing together data scientists, technology ecosystem partners. That leads to the real execution, not just within discrete functional areas, but across the business spectrum. And this provides a holistic view of data and actionable insights that retailers are craving for. It makes possible to self-fund these AI initiatives that we see across the industry. So let's figure out, like, how do we approach such a strategy? How do we bring that execution? So I have like 5 tenets to such an approach, and I'll go into each one of them and give you like 3 things that are being done to get to that particular tenet. Next slide, please. So first is total visibility. Retailers, as I said earlier, have an endless amount of data, but they have endless amount of operating silos as well. Lack of data ownership, inconsistent data management, they create blind spots that make it difficult to generate insights in line with broader businesses. Functional areas operate like islands right now. For example, marketing leaders don't know how actions in other areas of business might jeopardize the promises they're making to the customers. So basically what I'm trying to say on this slide is create a single version of the truth that is accessible to not only functional leaders, but also to the C-suite, offering a fully integrated view of internal as well as external data. After all, high quality data is the foundation of generating business insights. And the three ways that this can be done is use a retail data model. Basically, bring in different models from different industries, from different sources, and put them into a retail data model. Democratize your data, make it available to not only the C-suite, not only the executives, but also to the data scientists, also to the business users. And harness third-party data. There's a lot of data available freely in the market, which can be used to understand your businesses. Next slide, please. And you would be hearing this very often, put the customer at the center of it. With a solid data foundation in place, retailers can reorient their focus to become a truly customer-centric, regardless of what channel you are on. By moving away from a predominantly store and product-based metrics, you can go about behavior and profitability. Retailers can make more informed decisions to drop top-line growth as well as margin expansions, with the most of profit coming from a small number of customer groups. Like it usually happens, only a small number of customers are the major customers, right? You have to understand them. The key is to acquire those high value customers while avoiding the loss making ones. And customer centric retailers do not do this across all business functions, not just at one particular customer or just in marketing, just in sales. They have the right information to create effective omni-channel strategies. And you can avoid direct advertising, product recommendation, and promotions to everybody. Just keep it to the loyal customers, because you are not just engaging with the bargain hunters in this sense. And the last thing here is that you can optimize your offerings to customers' desire, reducing shelf space, inventory, and products. And the three ways that, like I said earlier, the three ways that this can be done is develop a 360-degree of customer view, understand inside out, analyze their pattern, analyze their behavior, and drive powerful personalization from them. And there's a story that I can give you here is last month I was staying in the middle of Ireland in a hotel, and due to a strike, what happened is people started leaving, and so I got an email from the hotel saying, if you want to, we understand if you are leaving, but if you want to stay in your new home, we are ready to offer you the same price as before. So look at the personalization that they did. They wrote a pretty email. They are already making losses because everybody is leaving, but they offered us this particular offer, which was really cool to us. We couldn't stay, but the perspective that they change for us is now we don't look for a hotel. We do not look for a city to find a hotel. We have to find the hotel, and then we look at, okay, is this hotel is in this city? So that is how you personalize, that is how you approach, and that is how you change the customer perspective, being customer focused in mind. Next slide, please. Third is once you have that particular customer focus, you go for action. Put the customer at the center, and then you go for action. In many retail organizations, it is not stuck in systems or spread. Data is not stuck in systems and spreadsheets. Data is the purview of data scientists only. So what happens is you figure out, it's like an ivory tower, where an academic view of data rather than a practical one pervades. And the reality is the data is only good as much as insights it can provide. And so historical, and based on that, you cannot just believe in the historical data. It's not obsolete. It does not tell you the full story. Instead, insights and recommended actions derived from data should be combined with iterative approach, test and learn approach, and that creates an explore versus exploit strategy. And let me give a brief detail about how that works. In the very first setting, when you have the data, when you understand the customer, you are exploring different methods. You are exploring different strategies to acquire that customer, to engage with that customer. And once you have fine-tuned that particular customer, fine-tune that strategy, you can go ahead, exploit it. You can go around with multiple customers with the same strategy. And data can lead you to do that. You can innovate and know what customers want even before they know themselves. And it's a very famous saying that in Amazon, they keep the things near your warehouse even before you are ordering them. That's why they can give you in the second day. So that's how you go for action. Next slide, please. Next slide. So the fourth tenet that I will go with is data savvy workforce. The data challenge is in retail is at its core human before it is technological. For a data and analytics initiative to scale successfully, it requires employees with different skills and priorities to adopt and trust AI. You have to trust AI to provide valuable insights and recommended actions. Accenture's CIO has written a book which is called AI plus human. So you need both of them, AI as well as human intelligence to use that particular AI, and you have to trust in the AI. The starting point for any AI initiative should not be just shiny data, shiny technology. It is a business opportunity. It is to understand what is really needed out of the business. It is to understand the strategy and vision of the business, and then to apply AI on top of it. So empower people with data confidence by bringing together employees with different skills and priorities to adopt and trust AI. And the three ways that this can be done, it make it easy for people. Do not make AI very difficult. Do not make AI about algorithms and complex code. And once you have that particular ease, people can use it, employees can use it, and then act on those recommendations. Once you find, okay, this is the right strategy, go act upon it, automate it, and embed a data-driven culture, not just intuitions. Intuitions do come from data, but build those intuitions based on the data. Next slide, please. The last particular way to use data as an asset is build new business models. As new people, as new companies enter into disruptive business models, they forge creative partnerships and they use different technology. Use data to win heart and minds of your customers. There's a unique opportunity to leverage your own data to launch your own breakthrough businesses. Retailers are increasingly using the data to not just do predictive, but also prescriptive customers insight to generate new revenue streams. By selling granular insights to suppliers, they want to, like Amazon went into the media business, and a lot of retailers that you see are going into the media business. Why? Because they understand the customer, what they want, and provide different things in a different format based on the customers. It not only unlocks the data as an asset, but also brings in new revenue streams. And the three ways to do this is try to monetize the data, spot the trends, and then you can run data hackathons or understand the businesses and build revenue business streams on that. I think I've taken a lot of time. I'll let Alak take it from here. Alak, over to you.
Thank you very much, Vaibhav. Good morning, everybody. I'm so delighted and thrilled to be with you this morning. And let me first turn off and come on basically on the video for all of you. I hope you're able to see me here. Okay. Very good morning, everybody. And I hope you're able to really get the sense what Vaibhav was alluding in last 15-20 minutes. I'm really so convinced that data is the new fuel of this generation. And when we talk about data, data has emerged as the new economy, because data is not only coming from your transactional system, which is basically point of sale or property management system or financial system, but it is also coming in from various other channels, likes of conversation, likes of your web logs, which is basically when you go onto the web, the clickstream data, or the sensors, which is coming in from machines, or coming in from the feedback which customer is interacting with you. So data is the new anchor, as he was defining. I will contextualize when we built this centric platform for profitability. Now, obviously, I will also now bring that whole notion about what is the agility which is coming in together. And when you talk about business agility, when I authored this book a few years ago, this book was basically on the premise of how convergence of 5 major technology is helping you to be agile so that you can weather this storm which keeps coming time and again. This time it is pandemic. Earlier, it was economy slowdown and so forth. So all of this, when I talk about, you have to understand that how this technology is trying to converge. So now you should be thinking of how cloud technology has helped to bring everything which you should not worry about. That means computing power is available on demand. You should not manage your computer, network, storage, what have you. Then you are now leveraging the mobility, mobile technology, the mobile smart devices. We are now trying to bring smart devices for the business leaders. You shouldn't carry your laptop, rather iPad, or you should have smart devices. Then we talk about social media, which is also giving you a lot of interaction coming in from various sources. And that is the big data, which is helping you to understand the behavioral pattern of the social economy, right? In terms of your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you have to leverage for the business benefits. Now, if you look at AI based, what he was defining, AI and humans coming together. So when we look at from Centric, customer-centric approach. So when I define the name of the company Centric, it is customer obsession. I'm obsessed with customer, obsessed with people, and that's why I talk about unless we automate certain processes, you'll not be able to offer in real time actionable guidance to people to work. So we need to build the platform which should be open, flexible to uncover predictive insights. Now, given the example, I have just seen Fairmont San Jose in California has gone bankrupt. Big five-star hotel, which was a shining hotel and getting all the guests across the international guests. But how come they did not predict that something is coming and they will not be able to sustain their business? There are many examples which has gone into this storm of pandemic. And Weber was talking about data could help. Now, data could help, but at the same time, process need to be also revisited. Now, business leaders are listening in this forum today that how should we automate certain tasks so that the process is fine-tuned to that particular task. And if you look at from the front office, now front office has changed. The behavior of customer has changed in the last couple of years. So when the behavior has changed, what should be our approach? Between artificial intelligence to process automation to your business processes. Customer footfall has come down in the retail business. Guests have come down or they have not been visiting hotels in last few years or quarters. What should we do? So now you have to start looking at the behavioral change, which we are trying to offer the predictive guidance. If guest is not coming, I will tell you who should be coming to you and what else they should be able to do on this predictive guidance. So he was talking about segmentation, the targeting, looking at some automation on that area. So obviously the AI will have to be data driven. Data has to come from your existing customer data management system, your point of sale system, your PMS system, your supply chain system, your reservation system. When that all comes together, that is the platform which processes the data in real time, analyze it, gives you insight, and also guides you to take action. So that means the platform is enabling you to take action and guides you in a real time. And that is the approach we have taken to improve your business profitability, gross operating profitability based on one, which is AI platform. Then we visit all your business processes. Some of the tasks like how you're entertaining your guest or your customer. Customer is going on web channel. If customer is going on the web channel, what is the automation required? Are you entertaining customer when they come onto the web? Do you have the chatbot or conversational interaction going on that? If guest is trying to make the reservation, are you enabling them to make the booking on the real time on the web itself and provide some recommendation so that the interaction takes place on the front end on the web channel? Now you can see that you are taking ownership to interact with guests directly or interact with customer directly in real time like Amazon does. And like Vaibhav was mentioning, that how lead hotels like Marriott is emulating Amazon.com. Hotel industry is moving towards the model of Amazonian. The way, if I'm defining, you have to become Amazonian way of doing business. So altogether, you need to look at how you're interacting and engaging in the web commerce environment, fulfill that, and also recommend the services based on that. So process automation becomes the key. Third element, when I take the approach of predictive, prescriptive, and actionable insight, new way of looking at your business. That means we need to predict the things. And how I'll be predicting? Based on the data coming in from conversation. And I'll elude some of the data points which is coming in real time. Real time, that means customer or guest is online on your web. They are chatting with the conversational bot. That bot is feeding the data to you, the business leaders. The chat bot is also taking orders. Orders can be fulfilled from the back office, and that is the actionable insight which will come together for your benefits. So now if I drill down, why centric profit edge? It's a very, very key element to look at it. If you go in the past, you have the CRM system, you have the point of sale system, you have the supply chain system, you have ERP, HRM, all of that. Is it really tying that together for your day-to-day profitability? Is it really relating with you? Which line of business is giving you higher profitability? If you look at activity-based monitoring, are you able to monitor each activity which is translating into your gross operating profitability? Absolutely not. So answer is we are trying to address that each activity, each line of business, each unit of business is also measured in terms of gross operating profit. And we can do one stop. AI is one stop solution to measure your operational profitability. That comes with magic bullet. We have to provide real-time predictability of revenue. Now, revenue streams could be different for many businesses. Now, if I'm looking at hotel business, and I know some of the hotel business leaders are in the meeting, they will echo with me that you have the different revenue streams coming in through OTAs, online travel agents, or coming through your different revenue channels. You are taking the guest reservation directly. How can you maximize from your revenue stream? How can you grow your revenue? And on the retail side, also we see that there are aggregators who are taking the orders and trying to ship it across on the doorstep, and you're trying to maximize on the revenue. So on each revenue stream, look at what are the associated costs. Because the revenue which is coming through your multi-channel, that is also costing you money. Can we maximize on the revenue stream on one hand and reduce the cost on the other hand? That is a smart way of doing business. So we will be guiding you on predictive, not only on profitability, but measuring the cost associated with it. So that is the second element of it. And we'll start guiding you in terms of what action you should take. If your cost element is higher, we'll give you some pointer. If you do this, probably your revenue will, profitability will go up. So those are real-time prescriptive and actionable guidance which ProfitEdge will provide. Now let's drill down further. These are high-level solutions overview, and I can summarize in two buckets. ProfitEdge is all about gross operating profitability. And you can see on your smart device, this is what the look and feel of the system would be. ProfitEdge is coming on your smart device, and it will give you alert notification of revenue coming in first. Where is the revenue coming in from? 5 different streams. How can I maximize the revenue on each stream? You have your customer relationship data. Are you personalizing customers? Are you sending very personalized communication? Weber alluded to us just now. He was staying in a hotel in the middle of the island, and how personalized communication he received on his cell device, on his smartphone. That means somebody should be sending that. You shouldn't worry about, your marketing team should be sending. This is where we come in. All auto communication, personalized communication based on activities which is taking place in your business. Response mechanism. Are you listening to your guest and customer? We do enable you to listen to your guest and entertain in real time so that you are able to get your satisfaction of customer and guest higher. Why you think Amazon is doing so well? Why you think Marriott Hotel is doing so well? Reason being they are so guest focused, guest obsessed. Amazon say we are customer obsessed. Anything customer says, we take it on our lap and execute it. That is what customer obsession is all about. We will handle that. We also manage net promoter score, the metrics which will enable you to see how guest or customer is satisfied. Are they going to recommend you to their friend and families? If they do, automatically your revenue goes up. And we give you the trigger to enable that. So NPS, the feedback, the communication, these are the tooling which will help you maximize your revenue with the personalized, segmented guest classification based on insight which we do. All of this through revenue maximizer. On the other hand, cost optimizer is the robotic process. Now we are not eliminating humans. Weber did allude that we need to have AI and humans together. Now, how can I basically come into the front office? Now, if I come to the front office of the hotel, I can see that I can do many tasks with our conversational bot around. I can check in the guest without even reception. I can serve the guest the, let's say, a nice tequila drink on the swimming pool without anybody being there. That is what we call robotic process automation, centralizing the cost element and delivering to multiple outlets. That is where business process assessment takes place. When I discuss with business leaders, we say that we are not magician, but we are a strategic partner to you. We'll work with you to understand the process, eliminate some of the gaps, and bring some of the element which can be automated. And many things are possible here through robots coming in. Now, there are robots in machinery and the robots on the conversational intelligent. That is the thing which we do very well. So what will happen if we maximize revenue, reduce cost, your GOP will go up automatically week on week. That is our challenge we take. And if you have shared all of the information, we undertake the responsibility to impact on gross operating profit by your line of business, by your property, by your unit of business every month. And then you gauge how are you performing on your business. Now, giving you a little bit of background, very high level. It is not technical, but you can see that how we do it. This is your data coming in from your system. We need to understand this and we need to create instance where it should be given to you. So unique to customers. So you'll have your own user ID login password on cloud on a single point and click. So let's say if Signum Hotel, automatically each hotel there will have access and the data is getting sucked into that particular cloud platform or Centric where we do a statistical analysis. A statistical analysis is not dashboard and reporting. It is giving you market basket, classification, all of that 9 yards of statistics, which gives us intelligence about your customer, your guest coming in last 6 months to 1 year. And based on that, we prescribe certain guidance to the guest. Example, if the guest is arriving week after, what I'm going to do with them? Now, OTA has given certain information, but I will know much more about the guest because I know the name, the details of the guest, and our system does analysis that this guest have stayed in the past. They have also consumed these services. So we start prescribing the guest on that. So I will be able to guide the guest to consume some more services within the property. That is one example. Upsell, cross-sell, which takes place automatically for you. You don't have to trigger any activities based on that flow. Now look at AI that comes in. Each customer who is interacting on your bot, customer bot, that will interact with you and get your data here. That means I am training the bot to interact with the guest more intelligently, service the guest more intelligently. Room order, if the guest is ordering something on the bot, automatically bot knows that Alak prefers to have this kind of food. So would you like to have this kind of a food again, sir? This is called learning, machine learning. And then bot is prompting the guest more intelligently so that you are automating something more personalized. As a Starbucks you go, you always swipe your scan your thing, and the Starbucks knows that you are this person. You probably take your coffee without cream or without sugar, and that's what they take the order accordingly. So that is called predictive, and that is where it is coming from AI. So many things are done on that. I'm taking a little longer, but I will conclude very quickly on that. What are the growth levers here? Very interestingly, growth levers, we have built the ProfitEdge, the core engine. Now, based on your businesses, we will improve, we'll accommodate some more processes and grow the core and scale and grow, innovate and iterate. That means we are very nimble. So now if a large group of companies are engaging with us, they will be very comfortable with us that we will be malleable, will be changeable, we can navigate with you, work with you, unlike large organization. Why did Nike acquired a small boutique AI company? Why did, let's say, Reliance acquired Haptic AI? Big telecommunication company acquired them. Reason being, they see the value on the data, they see the value in the process, robotic process, and that's why they are seeing they are going to grow based on that. So we will do that. Now, obviously, Dave has some good case reference to talk about. So over to you, Dave.
Perfect. Yeah, thanks. So we do that we wanted to talk about. I've got an echo that I didn't have before. Alak, I tell you what, the echo, why don't you just...
Okay, so let me just quickly talk about who are our customers, right? So these customers have come a long way with us in our journey. And I will walk you through our online retailer, which is Morning Owl. And Morning Owl has completely built business online. They don't have bricks and mortar store anywhere. And they are growing their business rapidly, multifold. Every quarter, every month, every week, their orders are pouring in onto web commerce. Hear them out, what they say.
Hey, hi Dave. Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Alak, as well. So this was a very short in detail, like what exactly do we do at Morning Owl. So to give you a brief highlight, we started way back in 2017 and the journey has been quite beautiful till now. Over the past 2 years, we have seen good numbers as well. Now, not taking much time, so I'll just delve into the matter. The thing is that when we grow as a company, especially in terms of e-commerce, we have like the visitors increasing every day. Convergence is what actually matter at the end of the day for people who are into e-commerce. Now, here is what we actually realized that yeah, we were doing good, we were hitting numbers, but somehow the conversion ratio was dropping year by year. So if we have to look at the data, we'll see that the conversion ratio was not up to the mark as even when the number of visitors kept on growing from 2019, 2020, and now 2021. So we kind of understood that the main problem could have been not utilizing the insight that we should be getting from the data that we are capturing. Now that is where Centric comes in. Now our association with Centric was primarily in order to improve our customer experience overall, not just a before purchasing, even after post-purchase, the kind of experience that the customer gets, because that automatically leads to a greater conversion ratio, and also helps us retain customers. Because at the end of the day, we want to be a very customer centric company, and that is our primary goal, because we understand the underlying fact, like any D2C company today understand that customer experience is what matters the most, which will automatically be helping in obtaining the operating margin as well. So may it be through good experience using such tools such as analytics, analyzing the data, which Centric is helping us to understand where are the loopholes, where are the gaps, which could be filled through the data points that we have already gathered but may not have utilized till now. And also through certain other tools that we are making use of is one such is conversational AI, that is like chatbot, which we are integrating into our website to give a very seamless experience to customer. Uh, Regarding information on the website that they require, and even like post purchase or whenever they have any queries. So this is what it has been, and we are looking forward to a very great collaboration, and definitely, yeah, I'm pretty sure that this collaboration will definitely be helping me and Centric as well.
So this was basically Morning Owl. And going forward again, if you look at Jade Blue is yet another retailer. They have around 25 plus stores, and they were struggling to see during pandemic how they can have the footfall coming. When they started engaging with us, the first thing they commented on that they had not seen this what we had shown it to them. The chairman and the CEO of the company commented in one of the meeting that Centric have opened our eyes. We didn't know that who are our most profitable customer and who are our most loyal customer, who are contributing more to our revenue. So out of 475,000 customers, this narrowed down to few thousand. Out of that, few hundred were only contributing to the higher revenue on that. They must have the data, but nobody was showing to the business owners of that. When we started showing that, then we started talking about customer lifetime value. We started talking about how that can help them grow and penetrate and get the more customer online. So we transformed their business, we transformed on the web commerce, and now suddenly they have the appetite to go global, because there is no boundary for e-commerce. Now they are coming into the US, they are going into the Europe, all with our vision and execution. So Vaibhav commented on strategic execution, process transformation, data-driven intelligence. All that is being done at Jade Blue. I'm so proud to have Jade Blue, one of our prime customer, who is now building up the whole thing with us and sustaining and paying and rewarding us based on that. Last but not the least, among our successful deployment, we have a Signum group of hotels, very strategic partner for them in terms of AI implementation. We have Ron in the meeting today, and I will request Ron to talk about our journey so far. I'm not considered as a vendor for Signum Group. They trust me as a AI partner. They trust me as they say, you have to be with us all the time, wherever we go with any implementation and deployment across the globe for them. And now, Ron, would you like to share your thoughts? What you have seen with us in our journey so far?
Sure, definitely. So the biggest thing for us as a hotel group is maximizing on customer efficiency and customer feedback. So what we like to see the most is the customer AI and the response AI. And we're seeing, as long as we can keep the detractor score down and keep the promoter score up, that means we're doing a good job. And that's where we're seeing a great partnership with in regards to that, and also that reducing the overall cost and increasing the GOP as we're opening up more hotels in India, more hotels over Europe. That's where we're seeing the partnership really run wild.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Ron. And I'm so thankful to Ron, who is really introducing to friends and a strategic group like Joseph. Joseph is in the meeting. He is the Chief Investment Officer of the very large hotel group here, and he would be looking at how we can be a strategic ally for his initiative as well. So with that, let me hand over to our strategic partner here in the US. We have Sam Okunori and Robert in the meeting, and both of them have seen our vision at Centric, how AI/ML can enable, how that we can grow together. They are the heavy lifter. They will provide the strategic consulting in terms of your data understanding, data integration, managing all of that. So over to Sam and Robert as we go.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Alak. My name again is Sam Kanuri. I'm the co-founder of Abacus and Trajectus. We've been in business for 16 years. With Abacus, we do staff augmentation to mostly Fortune 500 companies throughout US and Canada. And through Trajectus, we do software development services. And we are very excited about this partnership with Centric. It may not come across on a meeting like this, but I've met Alak a few times, and I love his passion and energy for ProfitEdge. And we are excited to grow along with Centric. With Trajectus, we have done dozens of projects and implementations, and we look forward to a very successful 2022 with Centric. Robert will actually talk about some of our projects we have done and our capability, and I'll pass this on to Robert. Robert, please go ahead.
Thank you, Sam. If we can move to the next slide, I do want to say that in addition to what Sam has mentioned, we are situated in the US, Canada. We're opening up a Middle East office, and our development is in India. We specialize in AI/ML, and I particularly have worked on a project that is for 136,000 employees. Trajectus do software development. In this case, we will customize for you. We will do integration, and we will also do DevOps automation. The traditional name has been called QA testing, and we will and have been able to do cybersecurity. And I'll get to what that means in the next few slides. Not yet. If you can go back one more. We are skilled, and our skill sets are based in Silicon Valley. In everything from management, Sam and I are based here, right in the heart of Silicon Valley. We have architects, designers, engineers, QA testers, project managers, all trained in the Silicon Valley. We have successful implementation in over 200 clients, and everything from the retail, manufacturing, healthcare, food and beverages, cybersecurity, and so forth. The idea behind all of this is to let you know that we can do all of this with low cost. And what does that mean? That means that we will engage with you at a rate that is much cheaper than you can find anywhere else in the industry, especially with Silicon Valley skill sets. The benefit to you is, of course, high ROI. Next slide, please. So here are our customer slide, and like everything else, I think that everybody will have a set of logos that they splash on. But the key ones over here, I just want to point out is folks like Department of Health and Services, Human Health and Services, Johnson & Johnson, that was for state of New Hampshire, IBM Renaissance, NCR, and so forth. The ones in blue are the ones I want to highlight, particularly Edison, Elite USA, and Nemo Health Modernizing Medicine. These are the retail-based customers. Then I also want to make sure that we touch on computer instruments, which does AI/ML, natural language processing. So I'll give you a very good example of Edison Automatics. It's a next generation vending machine. So these are some of those, the ones that you will see at either airports or train stations or or even shopping malls, you walk up to a machine, you touch the machines. If it has your profile, it knows who you are. So it kept a lot of those information and backed into CRM and ERP applications and supply chain applications. What does that mean? That means that if I were to order, let's just say a USB-C cable off of that machine, the next time I go back in again, it probably will think that I need, and it has intelligence to know that it will need, like, you know, maybe it needs to be connected to a monitor, a docking station, you know, a new laptop. All of those things will be made available to you as the user, and you can order them, let's just say, on your way to a flight, to catch a flight, and by the time you get home a week later, you know, your product is at your doorstep. Same thing with Elite USA. Is another mobile app retail capability where, you know, they source for really hard to find high-end products like Hermes bags or Jimmy Choo shoes, or, you know, anything else that is really hard to locate that you can't find at the local mall. They have back-end integration, and we developed the app so that they can source with the CRM and the suppliers how to get the information and send it to you very quickly. Now, all of this will not be done without security. We have the capability to build, for one of our financial customers, the ability to build a cyber wallet using blockchain. And the reason why I'm showing you all of this, if you can go to the next slide, is to I love the next slide, please, is to emphasize the fact that we have successful deployments, development, QA testing for e-commerce and AI ML customers. So I mentioned about the global IT that I have actually particularly built the topical analysis, the sentiment analysis, and recommendation engine. I think Accenture and both of us talk about it, is that what do you do with the data? You want to analyze that, and then you want to make recommendations and action on those on those data. We have that capability. With machine learning, we have NLP capabilities. With NLP capabilities, we have the ability to also make sure that your data is secured in the cloud. So the last part there is very key. We proactively also secure your cloud and your SaaS applications. The order to cash capability in the e-commerce space, everything from ordering on a website to process reconciliation, settlement, invoice generation, collection, ability to do all of that and manage your environment. We have a low-cost deployment capability to help you out. The idea behind that is that you can onboard your customers 50% faster. And one of our case studies over here, we process $150 million of transactions per year and growing at 100% annually. Next slide, please. Okay. How do we help you with the Centric solution? First and foremost, is the SaaS applications. It can be on-prem or it can be private cloud. It can be a hybrid of those. What we will do is deploy your ProfitEdge application. Then the next step is everything from install, configure, and manage. You can figure that out. Everything from infrastructure setup to your managed services to a secure cloud deployment. We enhance your security of your SaaS applications from things like single sign-on, those basic things, two-factor authentication, to having a security officer on site to monitor and manage all of your logs and your reportings and so forth, so that you can be compliant if you are meeting regulatory compliance situations. For large SMBs as well as enterprises, we partner with Guardicore, which is also now part of Akamai, and we will do things like prevention of ransomware attacks. We will do zero trust implementation, and we will provide endpoint security management and everything in between, as I mentioned above. In terms of the ability to do standards-based bespoke application development, assuming that you want to extend your current application, you want to integrate your your source of information, whichever source that you have right now. We can integrate with your CRM or your ERP applications. We can do ETL capabilities using Infor or any of the Oracle products. We can create data lakes for you so that you can then start doing and pulling data out so that you can do some real intelligence with your data that you have. And of course, we have built the cyber wallet using blockchain technology. This slide here is the rest of our other capabilities. I just won't concentrate on this, but I just want to focus you on the last model on the top, on the bottom right, which is our engagement models. I mentioned to you how we can do cost savings and we're low cost. So we are very flexible. We can do it project-based. We can do it time and material. We can do it onshore, offshore, on-site as well. We can do it in the US and we can do it in the in India, where our development centers is. So with that said, if you want to go to the next slide, Alok, I will end it with the fact that there are some communications. If you want to follow up, I'm sure you can reach out to Alok, to Dave, to myself, and then also to my sales team over here side per side. Okay.
Thank you so much, Robert and Sam, for participating in this discussion. And last but not the least, the key takeaway, what you have seen, Accenture as thought leaders coming together to provoke us to see how the whole storm has come in on the business and how we should be able to sustain this storm of pandemic, economy slowdown. We do not have to worry and get overwhelmed with that, but get prepared before it really damages us, right? So again, as we always say, agility is response to change before it occurs. If you can respond now, we should be able to sustain that quickly before others do, before competition do. So let's wake up on this and start engaging, understanding your business current state of affairs, where you are in your business, how we can discuss together as a strategic partner. Accenture is giving us the guidance, how they are seeing data as is the anchor for that, how humanization of big data can be done. That means how humans and data can synergize to act predictively. And with that, I'm sure that we should be able to do much faster, much quicker to impact on a positive gross operating profit, the GOP. With that, let's have any questions for the panel. We are all now available here, and I'm stopping the share. So Dave, you can take any question on the chat line if anybody is there.
All right. I'm not seeing anything specifically in chat at this point. I think oftentimes people are interested in kind of understanding what are the next steps or how does one kind of get involved or engaged. And that last slide that we had our email address, info@centriq.com. So organizations, both in retail as well as in the hospitality space, that have an interest in learning more. Clearly, we weren't able to show everything today, and that was really not our intention, but rather just to share the exciting news of our partnerships through 2021 with Accenture and with Trajectus and others. But we would love to engage with your organization, and it probably starts with telephone calls or an email might be the best approach. info@centriq.com as a great first step, and then me or somebody in our sales group will be back in touch with you to do a far more comprehensive, deeper dive in terms of the product, and then also to learn a lot more about the specific challenges that you have. So, we're right about at time at this point. I do really, really appreciate everybody's involvement here today. And again, look forward to speaking with you as the need arises. Again, Dave Monahan with Centrique, Alok and I, Dilip, and the whole management team within Centrique appreciate your participation. I know we're entering into the end of the year, so have a tremendous holiday season. And we look forward to engaging with you as we get into 2022. With that, Alok, if it's okay, I'll send everybody back to to grab that bite of lunch or to hit that 10 o'clock meeting if you're.
Absolutely.
Thank you so very much, everybody. And again, happy holidays. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.